Tom Brady suspended 4 games by the NFL pending an appeal for his role in DeflateGate. The Patriots fined $1 million, docked a draft pick in 2016, a first rounder, and a fourth rounder in 2017. Adam Kilgore has been all over this story. Adam, I'll just ask you this, start you off with, was it a fair suspension? Was it the right ruling by the NFL?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I think it was definitely appropriate that he got suspended. I guess you can argue this if it should be 2 games or which draft pick it should be or what the fine should be. But certainly I do think it was justified that he is suspended. And I think 4 games is as good as any other number you could come up with. I know a lot of people are sort of talking about how can the NFL give Ray Rice 2 games for that? And look, the NFL botched that whole ordeal in a million different ways. But it's not a fair comparison. It's not a fair thing to enter into it. Like, the NFL is a sports league. A sports league's sort of first mandate is to guarantee fair play. That's what this is about. I mean, I don't think you can expect the NFL not to care deeply about enforcing rules and making sure teams adhere to the rule book. And you can spin there are flaws with the investigation. There are flaws with certainly Roger Goodell's tenure has been a train wreck. You can sort of point to all these sort of tangential things that other people did things wrong as well. But in the end, the Patriots they cheated. They lied about it when they got caught, and they should be punished for that.
Well, Neil, no one's been neutral on this. Where do you stand? Is 4 games the appropriate amount of punishment?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate because there'll be an appeal, and we'll probably see that reduced a little bit. So if you think that the sweet spot is 2 games, well then 4, there's an appeal, maybe it gets down to 2. So yeah, but like Adam said, I mean they're found to be cheats and liars, and you just can't have that in a pro sports league. And you can quibble with how much they cheated or how much of an edge they tried to get, but the bottom line is they tampered with the game equipment and they got fined and penalized for it. So yeah, I think it's fair.
Well, Clinton, Tom Brady is the face of the NFL, along with, you could argue, Peyton Manning, but this means their Golden Boy is not going to be in Game 1, their marquee event to open the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Are you shocked that this was the punishment?
Not at all. I mean, the question about whether or not punishments are appropriate in the NFL is always different. I don't know that any punishments are ever really appropriate. And get back to Adam's point about what you do when it's just a game. If it's just a game, then it seems that the competitive balance should be more important than things that happen off the field. But in this case, it's apparently not. You got guys getting suspended way more for doing things like drugs and doing things like outside of the field. You'd think if the competitive balance was that important, you'd get a bigger penalty. But alas, that didn't happen because of the reasons you stated.
Adam, the bottom line is, do you think he's going to miss 4 games, or is the appeal going to come down to 2 games like a lot of people are talking about?
Well, I think if you look at the history of suspensions that are levied, I think one that comes to mind is Anthony Hargrove in the Bounty Gate. He got 8 games initially, and a lot of that penalty was not necessarily for what he did, but for how he acted in the investigation. He lied to investigators. He lied to the commissioner. But and even that suspension was taken down from 8 to 2. So I guess based on precedent, which there's not a ton of, I guess I would say that it'll probably come down, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, the NFL appeals process seems to be so scattershot. I mean, Goodell gave the suspension, and apparently he might hear the appeal as well. So if that's the case, I don't see why he would sort of be like, no, I changed my mind. So I don't know. I mean, either way, I definitely, for sure, he's going to miss at least 1 game. You know that much.